Welcome back to BallinCraig Farm. Now, I meant to record this video yesterday, but I thought before recording this video, because the last one I did in BallinCraig, I discovered that the fence here went into the shed instead of having a fence post at the end. So I decided I'd replace this fence. I replaced it with a white fence. Well, it's a bit hard to tell in this early morning dawn, but that's a white fence because I thought that'll go really well with the white house there. But then I thought, well, if I'm replacing that fence, it looks kind of odd, unless I also replaced a fence around the other side of the house, or around the side and the back. So I ended up replacing all this fence as well, and that actually ended up taking a while because there's a gate leaning against the fence there. I wanted to get the fence in exactly the right spot, so the gates were still leaning there. I didn't want to get rid of that because I like having a bit of clutter around my yards and things. And there was a water tap here, and I actually ended up having to delete the water tap that was there, put one in slightly further out, and then put the fence in, because otherwise the fence was actually going straight through the water tap with part of the tap on this side of the fence and then it hanging out that side, and just looked odd. So it took me a bit longer to replace all those fences than I had planned. I just ran out of time to do the video yesterday, but it's okay, I have time today. And it also reminded me of another issue with this map that I thought I'd warn you about, just in case anyone else is thinking about doing this map. For some reason, if you go to the sleep trigger, which is at the front of the house, and you try and sleep through the night, the game will crash. And it seems to be the paying out for the milk that causes the game to crash. So what I've discovered, because what happens is at midnight it charges you for the maintenance on the property and vehicle maintenance and things like that, and then at, I think it's about 2 minutes past midnight, it pays you out for the milk that you've sold, if you've got the auto milk selling mod loaded, which I have. So what I discovered with this map, and it is only this map that I've had this problem with, what you need to do is fast forward time, turn it up as fast as you can until you get to like about 1 minute to midnight, then go at ×1 speed while that does the charges you for the property. And oh, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I, because I need to put bales in here. Yeah, so just slow the speed right down to ×1 while it charges you for the property maintenance and pays you out for the milk. And then, oh come on, get out of there. Once you've got to about 5 minutes past midnight, then you can sleep through the rest of the night to fast forward by to sleep through it. Oh, that's not going to work, so I need to get another tractor past there. But yeah, so if you just get to like 7 o'clock at night and then try and fast forward through the whole night like you would with other maps, it will crash the game with this map. Now, again, I will say the same thing as I said the last time I recorded a video on this map, which is if it was any other map that was causing those kind of problems, I'd just dump it and I wouldn't play the map anymore. But because this map holds a special place in my heart, I've spent so long playing it, I'm willing to put up with that. So of the 6 maps I'm currently playing, well, of the 6 I'm currently playing, I'm really only currently playing 5 because I'm not playing BallinCraig right now. I'm just giving it a break, or BallinCraig, sorry. I'm giving it a break just because I'd played it for so long and it was the only map I was playing. So I haven't deleted my BallinCraig file, and I will definitely, absolutely definitely be going back to it, because that would be my favourite of all of the FS22 maps. But of the other 5 games I am actually currently playing and things, Greenland's Farm and this one, BallinCraig, would be my 2 favourite maps. So these are the ones that, those 2 in particular, I'm willing to put up with a certain amount of issues and problems that I wouldn't put up with, say, for example, if I don't know, if any of those other maps I play, Arley Farm for example, if Arley Farm was giving the same kind of problems as this farm's giving me, then I wouldn't put up with it. I'd just delete the map and not play it. Whereas with this one, I will still play it. So you come to think of it, I think I've done this in the wrong order, because the size of the mixture for TMR on this farm is different from different farms. When you, if I jump into the other tractor for a second, I shall show you. In fact, even walking up close to this trailer. Oh, hang on a second, bear with me one moment. Well, oh no, so that one I need to press. So yeah, so if I stand close to the trailer with that one pressed, you can see on at the bottom of the left-hand menu there, it shows you how much of each thing you need to make up TMR. Now, and this seems to, it's not set to the trailer. You'd think it was the trailer that would decide that, but it's not. It's actually the map that sets that. So different maps can have different amounts of things needed to make TMR, and this map here is different from the majority of maps I play. So the majority of maps I play, you don't have to have straw for TMR. The lowest amount of straw that you can have is 0. Okay, so then you can just fill that up with silage and hay and no straw. This one here, you'll see that there is a minimum amount of straw needed. So you cannot, on this map, as I said, it seems odd that it's done by the map, but it is. But on this map here, you cannot make TMR that has no straw in it. So, in order, because the size of that trailer, it does seem to be affected, you know, so different sizes of mixer wagons, you could change the recipe. But I played around with this a wee bit, and it seems like the recipe for this one, oops, because of the way I'm going to do it and things, I need to actually put the bales in the right order to make sure that I get the right amount of everything, because it's not sort of a whole number of bales I'm going to use. And so the first thing I need to put in on this map, using this mixer wagon, and this isn't the same with this mixer wagon on other maps, but it is on this map, is I need half a bale of straw, or more or less half a bale. So that's, I'll just put in 48% of that straw bale, and that'll be perfect. I'll use the other half a bale, 52% to be precise, on the next trailer load, because I'll need more than one trailer load of TMR, the number of cows I've got. Then the next thing on the rest, so like on, if you think of BallinCraig farm for an example, on BallinCraig, my TMR mixture using the same trailer, because that's my favourite mixer trailer, it's a quite small one, and when you're running small tractors, it's probably the best mixer trailer to have is that one there. So normally my TMR mixture is made up of 1 bale of hay and 2 bales of silage, put in any order, it makes no difference, and that makes up TMR. But because on this one you have to have straw in there as well, my TMR mixture for this farm is half a bale of straw first, then 1 bale of hay, which I've just done, and then 2 bales of TMR, and they won't both fit in the trailer, so there'll be 1 bale that doesn't fully mix in straight away. But what happens is, when I do the mixture that only uses 3 bales, it uses no straw, it fills the trailer to 98%, I think from memory it is. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is, in fact, 98%. Whereas this one here, because I'm using 3.5 bales instead of 3 bales, it will fill the trailer to over 100%. So the last bale here won't actually mix into the trailer entirely until I start using it. So it means I've actually got more TMR in the trailer. Oh, I can't take the wrap off that bottom one while it's on the fork. I should have taken it off before I picked up the bales, and I forgot that I couldn't unwrap it while it's on the fork. That's alright. That's alright. We'll just chuck that. That one will be the first one to mix into the trailer, so I won't have a wrapped bale sitting on the trailer after I've done it. You just have to excuse the fact I've got a wrapped bale going in there now. Should be an unwrapped bale, and I'll make sure I unwrap in the future. Just wrap that out now. So now you see that last bale won't all fit in the trailer. So I'll just get this tractor out of the way. There we go. And kill the lights before I kill the engine so I don't flatten the battery. Interestingly enough, One of the mods I'm actually not using at the moment, because it had some other things that I wasn't quite so keen on as part of the mod, but it was a mod where you could do damage to your vehicles and things. So for example, if you started driving them too fast when the engine was still cold, it would actually damage the motor and things like that, and it was a repair thing. And one of the things in that mod that I really liked was it had a battery thing. So if you actually left a tractor running with, say, the beacons on, it would actually flatten the battery after a certain amount of time. So you had to be careful to turn out the lights and beacons on a tractor before you killed the engine on it. Now, as I said, I'm not using that mod because there were other bits of the mod that I wasn't so keen on. I did really like that feature, so I try and play my games using that feature still, even though in reality, because I haven't got that mod loaded, there is no battery life to my tractors here, and it wouldn't flatten the battery if I didn't kill the lights. But I just like to, in real life it would, so I like to treat it like it would. I'm just heading up here to feed some more cows up here. Don't know why that paddock there is looking like that. That's just one of the problems that I covered off with this map last time. But that field there, despite the fact that it's showing as green there, it is in fact fully ploughed in and ready to, it's been ploughed and then rolled afterwards, and it was the roller that left that texture there. So it's ready to be planted. It's just the wrong season to plant anything I want to plant. And this field here, come January, it's October now, if I go to the planting menu here, I think it is, and we go down to grapes, which is there, you'll see I can't plant grapes until January. So come January, this whole big paddock here will all be done in vines, but and I did mention in the last video, I don't have any grape equipment on this farm. I'm not planning on doing grapes as a crop. I just want to have an overgrown vineyard in this paddock, an overgrown, not being used vineyard in this paddock, because I had a vineyard in this paddock when I was playing this game on FS 17, I think it was, and it wasn't a vineyard that actually worked because they didn't have working grapes back on that long ago on Farming Simulator. But I just planted rows and rows of hedges. So I treated it as vines, and I sometimes mow up between them and things like that. I couldn't actually harvest grapes because the reality is there weren't any. So yeah, I'd like to keep that as an overgrown vineyard, and that's what I'm going to do. And you will recall from my last video on this map, if you saw it, that the way it is I've got cows in this paddock, but the cows that are actually eating the food and drinking the water and things are invisible. So I've stuck these placeable cows that don't move in the paddock as well, and because I've got 10 cows in this paddock, I've put 10 placeable cows in the paddock. So if I jump out here, you can see when I come along to here, it's called back corner paddock, and this one has 10 cows, and they've got water there, they've got TMR there now, there's some milk there again already, and they're at 100% health. But the 10 cows that food trough is registering is not the 10 cows that you're physically seeing there, because for some reason with the exception of the paddock that was like a default paddock in this game, all the other paddocks that I've got, I've turned them into cow fields, and all those ones where I've turned them into cow fields, the animated cows have come out invisible due to some problem with the map that is beyond my fixing, and I don't really care anyway, because when I played this game on FS 17, you didn't have placeable pastures the same as the ones that you've got nowadays, and so I originally, in all of my cow paddocks, I'd have a small square of animated cows in each paddock, and then a whole lot of placeable cows that weren't animated in the paddock, just to fill up the paddock and make it look like it was more full of cows. So to me, although the placeable cows would normally, put me off a map once again on this particular map, because I'm playing it for memory's sake, of having played on FS 17, how much I loved it on there, I'm willing to put up with some things I wouldn't put up with in the, so even in the calf barn here, if I jump out and go along to here, where it registers, you can see I've got 10 calves there, so I've put 10 placeable cows in there, but the fully grown cows, the placeable ones, but the animals that are actually in that paddock are all baby calves, because that's a calf barn there. So it's the same even with those ones in the barn. The only paddock, oops, sorry, the gate opens to this side on this one. The only paddock that's actually got animated cows is this one here, and currently I can't feed them because the food trough just won't accept any food or anything. I know that AK has graciously offered to see if he can fix that for me so that I can put food in that trough, so I'm going to send him this map before I go away this weekend for him to have a look at while I'm away. Which reminds me, when I think of that, this weekend I am out of town and I have no internet access while I'm out of town, so if any of my friends drop any videos over the next 2 days, I'll be leaving tonight sort of thing, then I won't, it'll probably be a number of days before it'll be 2 days before I get back into town, and then it could be quite a number of days before I can catch up on all my videos, depending on what's happening and how many people do drop videos. So if you're one of the people that I normally watch your videos and comment on your videos, and you drop a video in the next 2 days and I don't appear to have watched it and I certainly haven't commented on it, don't become disheartened. It doesn't mean that I've given up on following you or anything. It simply means that I'm out of town and with no internet access, and when I do get back it's going to take me some time to catch up on all the videos that I've missed in my absence. Better close this gate again, get the cows in. Okay, and I see this video's at 17 minutes now, so I will head up the hill here for the first time. There's going to need to be a few trailer loads of food go up this hill, and when it's fuller than it is now, because it's almost empty right now, but when it gets full it's going to be a slow trip up this hill with this tractor, because this tractor is only 110 horsepower, so it'll make for a slow trip up this fairly steep hill with a full trailer there. But I have actually checked it before I started, before I settled on my tractors for the map, to make sure that it could do it, and the answer is yes, it definitely can. Now I'm not sure if it rains and the ground gets wet, because I have a feeling that in FS22 the ground is actually more slippery when it's wet. So if it gets wet and it's raining, this tractor then may not be able to pull this tractor up the hill, this trailer fully laden up the hill. But I will just go and check while I'm here. I just want to check on, before I put any food in this trough, how much of the food, actually it's probably easier to check this way. Let's go to animals, and yeah, so they've actually eaten, because each field holds 11,250, so half of that is yeah, I should just, albeit only just, be able to go for a whole day without filling the trough. If I need to, it just means the trough would be pretty well completely empty by the time, if I miss a day of feeding them. So if I've got a whole day of rain and I can't get this tractor up that hill with a full trailer to feed the cows at the top of the hill in the rain, then I should be able to just skip a day of feeding them and just feed them twice as much the next day, and I'll be okay, hopefully. And the other option, of course, for me is if I go all the way down to the end of this track here, down there is a gate that leads out onto the road. So I could actually, even if I can't get this tractor up the top of the hill when the tracks are wet, I could drive it around the long way and come in from the road, and that would do the trick. I prefer not to have to do that if I don't have to. Now, yes, I know I've just left that gate open into that cow paddock. The reason I've done that is that I've got to come back there to put some more food in that trough. So I would imagine that in real life I would have left one of the kids there to keep it standing at the gate, just to stop any cows from wandering out the gate while I go back here to get another trailer load of food. And now, before I end this video, I will show you something here, because obviously I need to be facing the other way here to fill the trailer with the bales, and oops, sorry, screwed that up, didn't I? Let me demonstrate something here. So, you may recall that I tightened this yard right up, because in FS17, one of the things I really love about this farm is the fact that it's so tight, the yard and things. So, and the FS22 version, it wasn't tight like that, so I tightened it up by replacing a lot of the buildings in the yard and things with bigger buildings and the like, to make the yard back to as tight as it was originally in FS17. So you see what I've just had to resort to doing in order to get this trailer around the right way. It was either turn around where I just have, or I could go through that gate that's directly behind me there and turn around in that paddock up there, depending on what crops and things I've got in that paddock. At the moment there's no crops planted, so I could just do it that way, but I prefer not to, because that would still compress the soil. Oh, I haven't left enough gap there to walk through. I'll go around the other side then. So yeah, driving a tractor on that other paddock up there to turn it around would compress the soil, which I don't want to do, so I turn around where I did in the yard instead. And to refill this trailer, we'll use the other half of this hay bale, this straw bale side, to get the TMR mixture right. So you can see how it is a very tight yard, and I have to kind of turn the trailer sideways so I can get into it with the bales there. But as I said, that's actually one of the things I really liked about this map in FS17, so I've deliberately replicated that again on my version of the FS22 version of this map, which is quite different from if you go and download it. So I mean, you can Google BallinCraig FS22 if you're still playing FS22 and you want to play this map. I have given you the heads up though of all the things that are wrong with this map, in terms of things that aren't working as intended and the like. My recommendation, if you're wanting to play this map on FS22, well, my recommendation I suppose would be go back and play it on FS17, but if you like me, you'd really rather play it on FS22, and you really want to play this map, then send me a message saying you want to, and I'll send you my version of the map, as well as the mods I'm using if you want. None of those are private mods, they're all publicly available ones. So yeah, I can send you. Oh, now let's just unwrap both bales this time before we pick them up. There we go, so we don't really want plastic wrap in the mixer wagon, so I like to unwrap them before I put them in the mixer there. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, I see. I think I caught a couple of other. No, maybe that's not quite far enough in. Oh, don't know why that's doing that. I managed to pick up two bales okay before. Maybe I'd slightly caught on a third bale as well there. But, I'll give that another try to pick up the two bales. Give me half a second. My steering wheel had disconnected, so I had to reconnect that up. Oh no, look, it has. It's caught. I'm catching some of those wrap bales behind, so I need to turn it out first. That's why I can't pick it up, so I'm trying to pick up more than two bales. Oh, still doing it. Well, I could just pick these silage bales up one at a time. I don't want to do that, so we'll do it this way instead and just move the tractor slightly out. But because the silage bales actually are the heaviest of all the bales in FS22, they do weigh a lot more than either straw or hay. I prefer to get them get the forks as far into the bales as I can, when I pick them up, so the bales are as close to the tractor as I can, because we're, oh, you know, drop the bale then anyway. In fact, drop both of them, you know it. But yeah, the closer to the tractor the bales you can get, the better, because otherwise it's teetering right on the edge of balance, which is the way I like it. I mean, I could put a heavier weight on the back of the tractor, although to be perfectly honest, when there's nothing on the forks of this, that weight there is heavy enough that it's just about tipping the tractor over backwards, so you couldn't really go much heavier weight on the back of this tractor than I've got. But oh, come on. Yeah, I do like to have my tractors sort of teetering on the edge and things like that. Yeah, it probably makes things a bit harder for myself than they need to be, but I like it like that. So that's the way I play it. Yeah. There we go. So you see, if it probably would have been almost as quick to actually carry the two bales separately anyway by the time I wasted time like that, but I don't always drop them, so sometimes it is quicker to take two. Back that one out. Okay, so I'll just pack this tractor up. Don't know if people would have an interest in seeing me try and get a full mixer wagon up that hill or not. Maybe if you have no interest in seeing that, by all means quit the video now. For those that would like to see that, I'll try that just before I quit the video, but it does mean this will probably turn into like a 30-minute video rather than normally I go for about 20 minutes for my videos, and this one's probably going closer to 30 by the time I get to the top of this hill. But there might be some people that are interested in seeing this tractor get up this hill with only 110 horsepower to pull a very, very full, over 100% full trailer. And the reason I say it's over 100% full is because that last bale there hasn't mixed in, because the trailer is at 100%. As you can see, it is slowly doing the job. It's quite interesting on BallinCraig farm. I've got a very steep hill and a very underpowered tractor that has to try and pull the same trailer up the hill, and I found that it could do it as long as you kept the wheels on the actual dirt track. But if you got the wheels onto the grass accidentally instead, it simply wouldn't do it. So one of the things about FS22, I don't know if it's the same with this particular map or not, because whether it's tied in with the map, but with FS2 generally as the game, different surfaces will have different amounts of grip, and grass doesn't have a lot of grip. So if you get your wheels onto the grass, you can suddenly find that although you had enough traction to do something when all your wheels weren't on the grass before, suddenly you've run out of traction, you can't pull the trailer any longer because you've got wheels on the grass. This one I'm obviously okay. So there you go. I shall finish feeding all of the cows on the farm and leave you all at that, and I'll see you all again next week when I get back from my time away. Thanks. Bye.